So I've got to admit something vulnerable to you. I haven't had a lot of male friends in my life. Um, at least over the past 6 years, I haven't had any close male relationships. And 6 years ago was the time that I officially quit my job for the last time. I'd run businesses, several when I was younger, then I would go back to a job, then I'd run another business, then I'd fail, then I'd win, then I spent too much money, had to go back to a job. But throughout all of this, I had a lot of male friendships or acquaintances. So if you've been listening around, you've probably heard in the other videos, when I was a child, I didn't have really a lot of friends in kindergarten, and that horrific thing happened. Then in school, I was a bit of the fat kid, but I was also the smartest kid. So I was smarter than everybody, but I didn't know how to speak English. So I walk into school, I don't know how to speak English, so no friends. I quickly learn English, so much so that within 2 years, the teacher brings in the parent, which is my parents, and says, he's pretty smart, he should skip a grade. Then they're like, no, we want him to belong. Well, guess what? I still didn't belong because now I'm smart and all the other kids are like, you're different, right? Then when I was in primary school, I got bullied a lot for being fat, but still had one male friend. And that male friend turned out to, he convinced me to sort of steal with him. And then that wasn't good. It was just minor theft or throw rocks at people as a game or move around files around computers. Anyway, we got found out. Point is, I was like, oh no, shit, got to be careful, bad influences, right? So I went into high school and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get bullied, so I'm going to create a tough exterior. Well, I created the tough exterior and everyone's like, oh, you're weird, right? I was also that person that got 97% on a maths test and started crying in class. And it was higher than anybody got, but I knew that my parents would stop talking to me for 2 weeks because they'd be like, that's such a shit grade. So I'd obviously be crying. So I was a bit weird in school. Then I got really bullied for being fat and egotistical, then lost all the weight and people still hated me. And then I was like, wow, well, must be my defense mechanism. Anyway, so I went to university and I was like, no, screw having friends. And I was like, I'll just run businesses and I'll hire people. And at 18, I had a company which had 60 people working for me. And that kind of fit. But they weren't none of them my friends because I realized if I didn't pay them, they weren't really my friends. They were just, being friends because I was their boss. So when that business closed, that stopped. Then I went to university and I was like, I'm just going to be the nice guy. I'm just going to listen to everybody. I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to be, things aren't working. I'm just going to hang out. And suddenly I got a lot of friends. But then again, I fell in with some wrong boys and they knew that I could make money and stuff. And then they were like, oh, you can get certain substances or narcotics. And I was like, yeah, I've got money. I was like, yeah, sure. And then they started using me for that. And then I was trying to be like, oh, well, they like me for that. So then I started making them, actually manufacturing them. So, and that was a horrible time, as you can imagine. I was like, they weren't my friends. They were just using me for that. And then suddenly I'm around criminals and I was like, this is not what I want. And so I went out of that. And then I was like, right, that's over. Then I kind of recovered from that period and I was like, right, I just need to go back to a job. I'm not going to be businessing. I'm just going to be nice, Andrew, just stay in my lane. And again, people kind of flocked around me and then we partied and then I got a really good friend and it was a really good friend. We hung out a lot, almost every second day, just really friendly. And then I found out that me, him, and my partner, we would hang out all the time. And then I found out behind my back that he tried to weasel in and things happened with my partner and him at the time. He told me, I found out, and he was like, punch me, hit me, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then that ended as well. I was like, no, I can't be associated with you. And poor guy, he has a memoir, a card, as a memoir of me actually tattooed on his arm because I made such an impact to him once. But point is, as you can imagine, after that, I've been pretty scarred with male relationships. Anyway, so I'm currently in Queensland, Australia, and I walk into a yin yoga class. Yin is very, very good for calm, it's actually said to, and I'm a strong believer in this, it's actually set to calm your general being. So yin yoga, consider it like meditation or deep stretching. But the idea is you're actually training for an area of your body to actually take the amygdala brain, which is your reptilian brain, which is like always sensing threats, like threats, 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 and it calms your full existence down to be in a more present place. So I walk into yin yoga in this gym in Queensland, which we moved to recently, and lo and behold, I see a friend that I used to work with, and I was his boss at one of our jobs, and we've partied together, and he's just a great guy. Fantastic. Like, actually was one of those people that was like, man, two peas in a pod. He was very driven, very solo, very driven, created different businesses, very similar to me. And there was this unspoken like connection. And it was really good. Anyway, and he is having his birthday next week. And he's like, come around. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. And I walked away and I realized that I'm nervous. I'm usually not nervous. I'm not nervous in anything. And this is what's kind of brought me to this, that I'm nervous because I just haven't had luck with guy relationships. I just haven't had luck with guy relationships. And more so, I'm realizing as I'm uncovering, I don't trust myself. Like, I don't trust, because I didn't have friends throughout high school, or I was just this rejected person for so long. I feel that I become whatever people want me to become, and I don't know that. And now I'm older, I'm wiser, have achievements, I'm pretty much retired. You know, I do whatever the fuck I want to do, and me personally with myself, I'm really happy with the person I am. And if you told 10 years ago, Andrew, that I'd be here, I'd be like, you're laughing, dream, man. But the nerves are there. And I tried to unpack it. I'm unpacking it, and I'm thinking, do they know me as like the intense guy? Who do I show up as? Am I the intense guy? Am I the partier? Am I the this? Am I the this? And I'm like, I'm worried, and is there peer pressure? Is there not peer pressure? I'm like, man, what are you talking about? Like, I am the peer pressure, but I'm also not this egotistical person. I'm wiser, stronger, smarter, and different with age and experiences, and so are they. But I realized that the underneath of it all is just, I'm scared. Like, it's just a fear. And it's not real. And why I wanted to tell you this story is that all of these past experiences, like I said yesterday or the day before, it's like a filter. And you should check that video out. Very impactful. It's like a filter that we put our life through. And because of those past so much negative experiences, every time I go and try and do another experience, it's scary. It's just scarier. So I've decided I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be Andrew. Because I can't be anybody else but Andrew. I'm going to be Andrew. I'm going to be the way I am, with all my flaws, with all my non-flaws, with all the things I'm working on, with all the things I'm not working on, and remind myself that people only think about themselves anyway. People like me, maybe they realize it or not, are concerned of how they're appearing, how they're worried, they're not worried. So I'm just going to be me. And that's it. And it's a vulnerable share. I'm scared. I don't like to show up scared. I don't like to show up as a person that it feels like, for a man or a woman, having a couple of friends of the same gender is just so fucking basic. So fucking basic, right? It feels so basic. And yet I just don't have it handled. Like, it has pointed out to me, like, I do not have it handled. Like, zero handled. And I have been working on it. I do stay in touch with my cousin, and I know his family, but and he's in Los Angeles, and I love him to bits. That's a really, really good relationship, and I cherish that really, it's like a really special place in my heart. Like, honestly, through everything I've been through, it's one of my most closest successful relationships ever. And his family, he can't kill me. Joking, he's not going to kill me, but like, that is kind of how it exists in my head. I wanted to share this with you specifically because I may have something in a line. I may have another thing in line, and we always compare ourselves to other people. And yeah, they may have this, they may have that, they may have that, but this other thing that's really scary for them, they don't have handled. And it's okay, like, you can still achieve your goals and achieve things while things aren't handled, but you are gonna have to handle them at some point. Like, I'm gonna have to handle the male relationships at some point, and I am working on it, not as hard as I should be, but this is gonna be the first step, to have a boys' night out and be able to make it not mean anything huge and just hang out, just enjoy myself. But as I'm saying it, I'm literally like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm in my world such an alpha male. Like, I want that. I lock in and I just jump and I get that. I'm like, I want impact, boom, doom. I want to change people's lives, boom. I want to write a book, it's going to be the best seller and it's going to make the biggest difference than any other piece of information in the industry, boom. I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to sell everything, I'm going to move back home, and within 6 months, I'm going to be a millionaire, boom. I'm going to do this, boom. I'm going to buy 3 cars, boom. I'm going to travel the world, boom. I'm going to have 2 separate houses and travel around Airbnbs, boom. Like, everything is laser focused. I'm going to have some male friends. Somebody's invited me to a party, I don't know what to do, right? And it's might be funny for you, but it's my life and it's scary, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna feel like I belong. That's the scary thing for me. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna ever feel like I belong. And I know that I will belong if I just create more experiences of healthy male relationships and keep building that. But a lot of the reason why I even was like, let's jump on YouTube and actually be like, hey, here's me. This isn't for sales, this isn't for ad revenue, this isn't for fame, this isn't for, one of the reasons was I love changing people's lives. And I think the only way that you can change a person's life is be like, yo, look at me now, right? Look at me with all my problems with anything and follow me along and watch me stumble and fall, and sometimes win, stumble and fall all the way to the top, because then I know that you can see it, and then you actually gain personal and confidence belief in yourself that you can do it, because fuck, if I can do it, you can. I'm no better, no smarter than you literally watching this right now. I'll go off this and I'll be watching YouTube videos as well and be comparing myself again or whatever it is. And number 2 was I wanted to find my people. By my people is like, I want somewhere where I can just be me. And as I'm speaking this, there's all these fears like, oh, am I too feminine? Maybe I'm too weird. Maybe people are like, oh, like, why aren't you like this? I have all these fears bubbling in me, and I just, oh! And a lot of people take my firmness for like, whoa, I don't know how people take my firmness. That's actually the reality. I have no idea how people perceive me, but I wanted to be like, you know what? If I just put myself, the real me, out there everywhere on the World Wide Web, and I'll get a lot of stuff, I'll spread myself everywhere around, and I'm like, hey, I'm Andrew. Hello. Does somebody like my vibe? And if I put that out there, my hope is we're gonna find my people that are like, yo, they can self-select. And they're like, you know what? You're a vibe. Males, females, etc. I do have a lot of female friends. I do have a lot of female friends. It's easier. I find more depth in those conversations, but I do feel like I'm missing this. I have no idea what I'm missing by not having male friendships. But point is I wanted to find my people, and the big mental model for today, I'm addicted to that, huh? The mental model for today is genuinely no matter what areas you're winning in, you know the next area of life where you're like, I'm not dealing with that. Instead, I'll just deal with that. And sometimes it's those areas that can create the biggest win. And even though I don't see what's available for me on the other side of healthy male relationships, I'm sure that a lot of my progress of the stuff that I'm wanting to do next, which is coming, I'll share soon what I'm working on. I like teasing you. I'm going to be honest. I like teasing you, but I'm also nervous to share the new thing because once I share it, it's real and like I can't back out of it. And I'm not 100%, I'm pretty certain on it, but it's scary. What area in life that you're not proficient still in yet, and the one that you're like, oh, I'm not going to deal with that, I'm going to deal with that some other day, and I'm going to deal with the other stuff, that's probably where the gold nuggets are. And you can't know what's on the other side of it because you haven't dealt with it. So I'm saying this really for me is like, hey, Andrew, time to get this male thing solved, and you don't know what's on the other side of it. Maybe it's just fucking belonging and fucking happiness. And maybe that stems into my family relationships, into my intimate relationships, into my relationship with myself, and a whole bunch of other fucking shit. But basically, I hope you enjoyed my vulnerable share. This was super vulnerable, but we will get more vulnerable. I hope you're having a brilliant day and confront your shit. You know that thing? Whatever that thing is in your life that you're like, oh, don't want to confront that. Confront it. Let's do it together. Let's see what happens. We'll freak out along the way and like stumble and fall, but at the end of it, like, hey, I did that thing. Fuck yeah. P.S. Still getting shredded and still wearing my favorite t-shirt. Yes, I've ordered 6 more. I know you want to see the tea. It's good. It's good. It's like, hey, I'm friendly. Just because I lift weights and I'm angry all the time, I'm friendly. No, I am friendly. Maybe. No, I am friendly. No, why am I? You know, it's pretty weird talking to a camera because I can imagine you right there. But as a concept, the whole thing is fucking weird. But I really appreciate you. Just you for even giving me this time. So I hope you like me is really what I'm thinking, you know, at the end of the day. See ya.